A Burgos man is in jail tonight after pleading guilty to soliciting a minor. Darren Wetro was charged in October after an undercover agent received sexual messages from Wetro saying they could meet in Clearwater. Sentencing for Wetro is set for April 26th. 10 more people are being charged in the Feeding Our Future scandal by the United States Attorney's Office. The Feeding Our Future nonprofit used money that was meant for feeding Minnesotan children for personal items like a BMW sports car and real estate. There is now over 50 people charged in stealing $250 million from a federal child feeding program. The FBI is still investigating this case, and we will update you on any new information.
We are following a train derailment just outside the city of Willmar. At about 1 a.m. this morning, a train ran off the tracks in Raymond, Minnesota. The crash caused the train to catch on fire. The BNSF train was carrying ethanol and corn syrup. BNSF said no one was hurt in the accident, but many were still evacuated. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz was at the site earlier today monitoring the cleanup process. Walz met with the community leaders to inform those who evacuated when they may be able to return home. UTVS will keep you updated as the story develops.
Minnesota is one step closer to recreational cannabis. Earlier today, in the St. Paul, Minnesota State House passed Bill HF 100, which would legalize recreational marijuana, making Minnesota the 23rd state in the U.S. to legalize cannabis. This would allow Minnesotans 21 years and older to buy hemp products in Minnesota. The bill will now make its way to the Democratic-controlled Senate, where it is expected to pass. Minnesota legalized medical marijuana almost 9 years ago, and today in 2014. Today, Mayor Dave Kleist gave his annual State of the City address at City Hall. Kleist said the city is a leader in green energy and pushed St. Cloud to continue to set an example for the rest of Minnesota. St. Cloud also recognized multiple people with the Youth Building Award that is awarded for young adults who help build up their peers in the city. A Sauk Rapids 16-year-old is in jail tonight with bail set for $2 million. A judge set Medima's bail yesterday after a deadly hit and run. Medima hit and killed 7-year-old Norbert Olmscheid last Friday on a walking path. According to the criminal complaint, Medima admitted to intentionally hitting Olmscheid after hearing a song about murder. Medima has been charged with first and second degree murder. His next court date is set for May 8th. Minnesota will have to pay a little extra when fishing in the future. Yesterday, the Minnesota House passed the Environment, Natural Resource, and Climate Finance Bill along party lines. The bill increases the fees attached to the fishing license for residents and non-residents of Minnesota. For one adult Minnesotan, the fishing fee increased from $25 to $30, and for non-resident, the fee increased from $51 to $62. Are you looking for a new best friend? The Tri-County Humane Society has all sorts of pets available for adoption, like Rocky the cat, or Pointer the dog, and Brownie the guinea pig. To find out more or adopt, call 320-252-0896.
One more big winter storm is on the way. We'll have special coverage so you can be prepared.
A destructive virus is back in Minnesota. Why that's important if you own birds.
UTVS News starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to UTVS News. I am Kevin Bloomberg.
And I'm Kirby Schmid. Thank you for joining us.
We start tonight with Kimberly Gomez at the UTVS Weather Center. Hi there, Kim. Another winter storm?
That's right, Kevin. Another winter storm. Trust me, I wish and I hope this is the last one, but this is what we have going on, at least for today and moving into tomorrow. Let's go ahead and start off with our weather headlines for today. We do have that Colorado low just moving in to the state of Minnesota. Now, with it is going to bring some snow, ice, and possible thunderstorms as well in western and central Minnesota. Now, the National Weather Service did issue some watches and warnings for a winter storm and a blizzard condition also. But as we head into our radar loop, we can go ahead and see just how the Dakotas has been impacted of that system that has moved in, slowly reaching into western part of the state as well as central Minnesota. We could see there that up in northern Minnesota, we could be able to see more than a foot of snow. And for the central Minnesota, mixed precipitation. But Kendall Brown will have more on this in our full forecast. Back to you.
Thanks, Kim. The opportunity to learn outdoor skills from the experts is back. The Minnesota DNR I CAN programs are now open for registration. The program is open to all ages and teaches skills from starting a campfire to setting up a tent. All gear is provided. Other programs include fishing, kayaking, and mountain biking. Programs are set to begin the first week of June.
Your drive to work or school may look a little different. Beginning on April 10th, Cooper Avenue South from University Drive to 75 Roosevelt Road will be closed due to planned road construction. The construction is expected to last through the end of June. Detours around the roadwork will be posted. A man is injured after a bus rollover. A bus was traveling west on Highway 10 when it rolled over after hitting an ice patch Sunday morning. 59-year-old Clarence Buckles was injured and taken to Monticello Center Care with non-life-threatening injuries. The crash is still under investigation.
The bird flu, a deadly virus that caused the death of millions of birds last year, is back in Minnesota. The Minnesota Board of Health has confirmed that a virus in a flock in Le Sueur County and the area was quarantined. Officials have been expecting the return of the virus, but are hoping for better containment this year. If you're a poultry producer or birds owner, it is important to notify your veterinarian right away. The Stearns County Sheriff's Office is warning of a new phone scam. The Sheriff's Office was notified of calls claiming to be Stearns County Sheriff's sergeants. They will ask for medical information, legal documents, or ask for money. If you receive any call like this, never give out any information and hang up.
A group of citizens is calling for a pause in the settlement agreement made between the City of Minneapolis and the Minnesota Human Rights Department. WCCO's Rex Chapman has more of their thoughts.
The team is saying that we will ask for a halt on this consent decree until community members actually get a chance to get their full input into it.
The Minnesota Department of Human Rights probe into past practices of Minneapolis police proved the department engaged in racial bias policing. This agreement signed Friday presents a path forward in transforming the department.
The settlement agreement states the city and Minneapolis Police Department did not and do not admit or agree with the Minnesota Department of Human Rights findings. That is neither transparency, it's not accountability, nor the consequences that this community demands.
Members of the Unity Community Mediation Team call the agreement totally inadequate.
Because the police within that document on the release of claims gets to ensure that their wrongdoings that they've done to us, that they've done to the community, they don't have to admit to that fault.
They're referring to the release of claims statement in the agreement, one the city attorney says is standard.
The legal agreement, again, we don't have to admit to all findings. And in fact, it's a typical term of a settlement agreement that there is not an admission of liability.
I ask our community to ask those very questions. Go and look at the release of claims. Look at what they are asking us to give up as community members who suffered this abuse and who suffered this pain.
For now, more questions than answers. And until they have what they need, they want the implementation of this agreement put on hold.
This settlement agreement slams the door in the face of our communities for true justice, and our communities will not allow avenues of true justice to be taken away.
Rex Chapman, WCCO 4 News.
It still remains unclear if there will be any change, but we will do our best to keep you updated.
The city of Wade Park is looking for their next police chief. The city recently announced the 4 candidates for the job that might replace current chief Dave Bentred. One of the candidates, Anthony Resnicek, is a sergeant in the Wade Park Police Department right now. The other 3 candidates are Tony Padilla, Kurt Schoening, and George Vincent. All 3 men work in other departments. Interviews with the candidates are scheduled for April 6th. The city could announce the new chief as early as April 17th.
Flooding concerns are arising across Minnesota as the snow melts. How high water levels are affecting one Minnesota community.
And St. Cloud State unveiled a new esports area. Why students and staff are excited for the next step in the program.